I'll never mistake the way you give me my faith. My body feels safe in your hands. Feel me fully fade. I'm light as a fire that don't let me escape. The stars still remember they fall to our fate. I don't wanna wait. Every single part of me in flames. Tell me how it tastes. Let me be the harmony you crave.
Hello and welcome along. It is round 6, or sorry, round 2 of season 6 in the Supercharged Motorsports Wednesday Championship. Hope you're all keeping well. We're into qualifying here at the minute. It is, of course, pros out at the minute, and we are looking at seeing then as well the pro-ams to go for the next 10 minutes. So the pro is just about done. Chris Tedder is actually on provisional pole by 0.205 of a second. He's in the pits. Pavlov does have another chance. Of course, the race winner last week after stewarding, and he is in the Ford, so it'll be interesting to see how he does get on. We do have a 30 car grid today. Ryan O'Sullivan in the pits won't be going out again. Giuseppe Castellano for the M4 Squadra Corsa team will be able to get this lap in, it seems. Jack Holden is on his last lap, also Spatuzzi on his last lap. Maurice Boutin, who's actually up a bit of time there as well. Looks like all of the pros are now in the pits, including John Dudley. So I know that number 6 and 71 will be disqualified from qualifying for going out in the wrong session. They went out in the wrong group of people. So unfortunately for both of them, they will be getting disqualified from qualifying. Tedder is first to 32nd at turn 1. John Dudley, I absolutely 5,000,000% agree with you on that. I think with Tedder's luck lately, if he had any luck, it's literally only been bad luck. And we've got Slaven Go in a Ferrari this year, by the way, which is also quite interesting. So Giuseppe Castellano not improving. So Chris Tedder definitely has provisional pole. Maurice Boutin up into 4th position. Giuseppe Castellano is trying to gain some kind of time. I think Jack Holden will be going into the pits. Good lad. So Giuseppe Castellano gaining a slight bit of time, and it should jump in position. It does. He jumps ahead of Morris. So that is done. Florian is into the pits. Costa needs to get himself into the pits. Oh, I do not. Oh yeah, we do want to return to garage. Waiting to see if he doesn't go in, he doesn't go in. There's nothing we can do about that. That's 3 cars that will be kicked to the pits. As they're going around there, I'm with Terry Dunn now. Liam Smit out there as well. Chris Podicott, Anthony Ferrante. So Costa will be 100%. Oh, can't be doing. He does go into space. He's lucky. Shouldn't be on the track after that. That is ridiculous. I'm not going to check one thing because it needs to be done. When did he set his fastest time? It's not showing. I'll get that after. Yeah, right, let's actually try and enjoy a bit of race instead of people trying to break rules. And sorry about that, guys. So we're on with Anton is going to be getting DSQ. I don't know why he hasn't been yet. I'm going to just go to an ad and I'll be back, guys, in 1 sec.
Venom in my veins. Deliverance waits for your hands. I am not afraid. I'm light as a fire that don't let me escape. The stars still remember
Oh, apologies. Yes, there is sound, Nutella. I was literally just going through everything there and talking, but I forgot that the mic was off. Because I had to stop it to get two drivers DSQ'd for jumping through into the wrong pit section or race section, should I say. So on with all the cars there. I can go through them really, really quickly. So pole position, Chris Tedder for Amigos, which he's blocked. Pavlov, Ryan O'Sullivan, Castellano, Dominic Gise, Jack Holden, Vincenzo Spatuzzi. Then we have Juarez Augusto Jr., Stuart Pryor, Aaron Holloway, Chris Vining, Kubzesi, Fantuzzi, Glenn Smith, Nathan Warren, Usmanov, John Dudley, Florian Lacroix. Then we've got Polycock, Costa, Slavin, Liam Smit, Andy Polycott, Terry Dunn, Roman, Chikcherov, Ferrante, Anton, Rath, and then Bhutan. And of course, Chris Tedder on pole for our friends and amigos. I was racing with them on Monday night in Monza, but it was a much different condition. It was super wet. Don't forget, turn one, they need to go very safe because there's double penalties. You do not want to cause a major incident and get a hefty time penalty because it will be doubled. The drivers need to be very, very safe here and very clear on what they're doing. So this is going to be nice and interesting, to say the least. And looking forward to see what the guys do here. And yeah, nice size grid, and sit back with the popcorn now and relax as we get into it. Of course, thanks to ACC Drive for sponsoring our community, and the Track Titan for being a partner. And of course, we host our events on SimGrid. Our F1 is now live for Grid Finder, and we are away. And Chris Tedder gets an unbelievable start, and costing Pavlo in P2, and he was the race winner last week after everything else that happened. Ryan O'Sullivan now P3 after his absolute murder last week. How's he going to go here? Dominic Gise trying to go up the inside, gets out of it, and then that looks like we have Castellano cutting across the track. He'll have to hand those positions back though, and he's going to have to do that. Ryan O'Sullivan giving the flashes there. Castellano's going to have to give up those positions as Dominic Gise goes by. He nearly has to drop behind the other Ferrari, the green one, to be back on par because he's gained a huge advantage there at the minute. And now it's in with Pavlov then is behind him. So Tedder from Ryan O'Sullivan, Dominic Gise, Castellano for some reason holding on to a position now that I'll be looked at, I'm sure, after the race. Then we got Pavlov, Spatuzzi, Jack Holden, Augusto Jr. gets by Pryor. Then we have Vining just gets ahead of Aaron Holloway as well. Florian Lacroix is next there in P13, getting by John Dudley. Weird to see a French driver in a Ferrari, but he has the lovely French blue colour there as well. Then it looks like Nathan Warren's had a moment. Let's go back to see what happened. I'm not sure if it was a corner missed or a rear ending, but we'll have a quick look at that in a little bit as we get back into the main race now in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're back in, and we're going to jump on Usmanov, who's got by John Dudley there. So John not having the best of starts, but of course John Dudley is more about the endurance. He'll go long term and get some nice positions in there as well. So let's see how it goes. Ryan O'Sullivan though with a great start as well. Chris Tedder though 2.1 seconds clear at the minute. And yeah, Ryan O'Sullivan under a bit of pressure there from Dominic Gise, and you have got Giuseppe Castellano as Pryor and Augusto side by side. Pryor though in that Aston Martin seems to have the legs at the minute, but look at Chris Vining coming as well. He's after making that. Oh, McLaren just has to give in. Oh, as Pryor gets it absolutely wrong, as does Vining. So Spatuzzi gets through as well. Oh wow, so that's big there. And then Jack Holden gets through as well. So I think Vining can get himself going again, as can Pryor. Wow. So now Pryor is under the attack now with Aaron Holloway, as Aaron Holloway gets by him, and so does Augusto Jr. Chris Vining now is putting on it down the inside, and Vining gets through beautifully there as Pryor now under pressure from Florian Lacroix. Florian has to get on the brakes. They get through. I don't know how, but they've got through. So away they go upwards. And that looks like Liam Smit is looking to get involved with Florian Lacroix. Florian is holding the inside line though. And Pryor with him there, so there's not much they can do. But Pryor holds on to position for now. Up further, Dominic Gisa is starting to close in on Ryan O'Sullivan, as is Giuseppe Castellano. There is a bit of a gap then to Pavlov, who is under pressure down from Spatuzzi and Jack Holden. Usmanov looks like he's going to get by Glenn. He does. That was a lovely, lovely move there, but Glenn will come back. Oh, as Usmanov gets very snappy there, Glenn has a nice chance now, a nice run as into the pits. That looks like Augusto Jr. is in getting his pit stop out of the way. So Usmanov on the outside, it just seems to have the legs over the Ferrari there. And as we're looking at that, Florian Lacroix is after getting by Stuart Pryor. So Florian there, lovely move into turn one. Good trust with the drivers and away to go. Liam Smit has lost a few positions there. Terry Dunn is up 2. It looks like Anton is down. So let me go to race control. Let me see, was there anything there? What number is Limo? 222. Nothing there incident wise there, so I don't know what that was about. Maybe he just had a bad exit, or maybe had a little touch, as Castellano is eyeing up Dominic Gisa here for P3. Dominic Gisa. Gish. I'm surprised the Ford of Pavlov is struggling behind Spatuzzi as well. I seen here the Ford on Monday night was an absolute beast. It's Castellano going for the move on Dominic Gisa. Dominic has to give him the room. Castellano needs to give the room back as well. Dominic and Castellano side by side. Ooh, Castellano gets the move done. Will Dominic have the legs on the Ferrari now, coming up to Parabolica to try it up? I think he's a bit too far back to go for it. And I know Dominic, he doesn't go for silly lunges. So that's going to be another time. Kripsezi here gets by, it looks like Chikcherov, as they're going into, out of Ascari. And away they get going. So Slaven Go is out of the pits now as well. He is, after getting his pit stop done, he's done and dusted, as is Morris Boutan, as is Fantuzzi, as is Augusto Jr. I think that's quite smart, getting it done quite early like that. Anthony Ferrante then is on the way up. Glenn Smith's into the pits as well. I think they're all doing the smart thing by getting the pit stop done early. The tyres will easily last a full race. That's not going to be an issue. So I think that's a super smart move from these guys, as Konstantin Pavlov is going past, it looks like that was Jack Holden. And Usmanov has got Pryor there eventually. So Usmanov now needs to focus down. Lacroix is up next for him. And then he has Vining ahead. So let's see how that goes. Chris Tedder out 3.6 seconds clear. Oh, Glenn Smith gets a stop go 30. Oh, that's going to hurt his championship now. That's going to be not too bad compared to like the Spa or that in terms of how harsh the penalty is. But still, that's about 50 seconds time loss for him there on top of his pit. That's quite unlucky. So that's a double pit for him basically, if you were nearly changing tyres. So Chris doing a great job. Ryan O'Sullivan though is absolutely lapping up the pressure for Big Brain Racing. And Giuseppe Castellano and Dominic Gisa are trying their best to catch and to maybe mount an attack. But the Aston Martin in a straight line is so fast. Spatuzzi's the tail on Dominic Gisa there. Then Konstantin Pavlov has Jack Holden, Aaron Holloway, Chris Vining within about 2 seconds of each other as well. So there is nice groups throughout the field here having tight battles. And John Dudley has Liam Smit starting to catch him as well, which will be interesting to see how that goes. Just note Liam Smit is leading his split as well here. He narrowly missed out last week due to the time penalty on lap 1 being a double pen. And so yeah, he's going to have to just do his very best now. So Kripsezi is ahead of Polycott there, but not by too much, but he just got the job done in time. Polycott's still with him as Roman cuts the corner, is going to have to let Anton back. So Anton, even after the DSQ, has got up there. So Liam Smit still trying to mount the attack there. Anton has got by Roman. Back on with Spatuzzi and Dominic Gisa and Castellano and Ryan O'Sullivan. They're all within 0.3 of a second at the minute. This is unbelievable stuff. And yeah, it's looking like it's going to be one of those kind of races for the whole race. So Aaron Holloway now is on the back of this battle with Jack Holden and Pavlov. Vining is kind of in around the second, trying to get involved with it. Just not able to get up there just yet. Back further, Anonymous Rat is actually with a bit of damage, but actually putting the pressure on Andy Polycott, or Chris Polycott there as well. Nathan Warren is actually fighting Andy Polycott, who I just mentioned there. As of course, Nathan was quite unlucky early on. You see that rear end damage. So that was super unlucky to say the least. But let's see how we get on. I'm sure Spatuzzi looks like he's got the job done on Dominic Geese. Let's have a look at our Geese. As we see Glenn coming out, so side by side. Nice move. Yeah, Dominic didn't try overly fighting that either. There's not much he could do at that stage. Oh, wow. That wasn't Lee, that was that. Glenn. Let's see what happened, Glenn. Is there a replay of that? 777. No, there's not. He just lost it. Oh, that's Jack Holden, that maybe. Don't know what happened, Jack. Number 7 log. Maybe it's this. Aaron Holloway. Oh, Aaron Holloway and Jack Holden. Oh, he hit Pavlov there as well. Okay. So that'll be looked after race. At least we know what's happened there. And Anonymous Rat, though, in a mountain of supercharged motorsport cars, has got by, it looks like. Yeah, he's got by Andy Polycott and Chris. John Dudley under severe pressure now from Liam Smit. So Liam now seems to have the drive, although that Nissan in a straight line is ridiculous. So Liam's going up the inside. Do you know what? John's not even fighting it. He's like, go on, Liam, get out here. So Ryan O'Sullivan Castellano, 4P2. Seppi Castellano going for it, and it looks like he's got the move done. Ryan O'Sullivan will, of course, try and come back at him. Spatuzzi is ahead of Dominic Gisa, and Dominic Gisa is doing his best to catch up. Chris Vining and Aaron Holloway absolutely on it. And let's have a look. Fixing a connection problem, so Chris Tedder got kicked out, connection issues. No. Oh no, he's there. He's alright. I didn't know what was going on there. So Chris is 4.9 seconds clear. Chris Vining, though, is still on the back of Holloway. I'm going to go back further as Chris Polycott's in the pits. We've got Warren Chikcharov and Andy Polycott all in close proximity. Then Roman and Kripsezi. The Roman, the best way is not to be putting the tyres on the grass because it will upset the balance of that car. John Dudley is sticking with Liam Smit as well. I'll be having a look after Jack. I can't really give comments now until I actually look at it. But obviously it will be looked at properly after the race, mate. Konstantin Pavlov next, after being involved with the incident with Holloway and Holden. Back going, and a bit of rear damage on that Ford. I'm sure he'll fix that once he goes in. But this is an interesting one. Behind Holloway, you've got Foyning, Lacroix, Usmanov, and Pavlov, all racing within close proximity here. But Foyning and Holloway is super close now. That Mercedes in a straight line will be a rocket ship. There's Terry Dunn into the pits as well. So some of the guys are probably being smarter getting it done now. And then, of course, you've got Maurice Boutin. Next up throw from him is Fantozzi. And it looks like Andy Pollycott's now in the pits as well. So looking to get the pit stop done a bit earlier as well. So Ryan O'Sullivan is actually sticking with Giuseppe Castellano as well. So Giuseppe is doing quite well, to be fair. Ryan O'Sullivan, I think, has been driving a flawless race so far. Of course, just needs to try and find a little bit more time, because that P3 now is actually under pressure with Spatuzzi being so close. And of course, Spatuzzi is an M4 or Squadra racer as well. Vining next is right behind Aaron Holloway, but was dropped off a little bit. He was 0.2 seconds behind. He's dropped off a little bit from that. Stuart Pryor right there with Pavlov now. We'll be looking for a boy. Liam Smit is running nicely in P1 in the Pro-Ams. Anton then in P2 for Pro-Ams. And then you've got Roman in P3, Anonymous Rat in P4. Chikcherov P5, Augusto P6, Ferrante P7, Polycott P8, Terry Dunn P9. Back on down with Tedder. Try and give everyone a little bit of airtime. As Voynin straight into the pits. And not thinking twice. Ooh, interesting here. Pryor has a drive and a half. He's going to show it up the inside. Pavlov didn't give as much room maybe as he should. I don't know what happened. We'll look at it after. Liam Smit though won't be arguing too much. Let the boys race. He'll get closer. As Costa right behind Chikcherov. You'd assume the Porsche here might just have a good chance because they're mega under braking, but he's just a bit too far back. Spatuzzi's super close to Ryan O'Sullivan here now as well. So Vincenzo Spatuzzi for the M4 Squadra Corsa team versus Big Bane Racing's Ryan O'Sullivan. And that's one of the back markers getting out of the way as well. Ryan O'Sullivan going through. Beautiful job there. Nicely done by Ryan. Pryor. He's definitely a much better line. He's going to go for the move here. He's going to surely get this. Now he's the better line. And yeah, he does. He gets through. And I think that's the difference of taking Ascari kind of nice and tight versus, yeah, just being under a big effect there. By once you hit a curb at all or get offline, it costs you at least a half a second. And that's what it's done there. But that's class. Almost Batuzzi here. Still giving Ryan O'Sullivan a headache. I think everyone behind, other than Anthony Ferrante, is yet to pit. Or has pitted from P20 back. So Giuseppe's starting to pull out a lead. Look at Liam Smith. He's after halving the gap between Pavlov and himself. So Liam's doing a great job here. Spatuzzi showing the dummy there, but Ryan O'Sullivan is way too experienced to just fall for that. So fair play to Ryan, keep that going. This is what racing is about. So looking on them, Pavlov as well is kind of just still sitting there, looking for a way back by Pryor. After that, bit of a moment to Ascari, but I'm sure he'll be able to get it done. Spatuzzi's kind of dropped off a little bit this time round from Ryan O'Sullivan, and we've seen Nathan Warren into the pits. That's, I think, his first and only stop then done. Nicely done. Then we've got Cripsezi next. And he is 0.3 of a second off Anton now. Good bit of damage actually on him as well. Back on with Spatuzzi. 0.3 of a second. Spatuzzi actually has the fastest lap of the race as well, with a 1:48.397. And I'm going to do an onboard lap actually. I'm starting a lap with Liam Smit. And that's a nice lap there from Liam Smit. Now, let me have a look at what's going on, as I was literally just kind of taking a moment to rest my voice as it's killing me. But Spatuzzi now still in P4, chasing down Ryan O'Sullivan. And behind that, John Dudley and Cripsezi swapping places there. What happened with John? Both side by side. That's a draft and away he goes, kind of a job there. Morris Bhutan up into P22, starting to come through the pack slowly but surely. How long was his stop? 13 seconds. He obviously had damage. Morris doing a great job there though. So with all that's going on, let me see. Roman doing a decent job there. He's got about 5.5 second lead. Nathan Warren and Polycott, both teammates as well. There's Nathan and Mr. Chris racing for the Supercharged Motorsport team. Stuff there, so I don't think Polycott's going to be under too much pressure in terms of it's not going to be an over aggressive fight, but definitely Chris. I only noticed the name of his livery in another massive incident. That is absolutely brilliant. But yeah, Chris Boynton's through there. Florian Lacroix is in the pits, in for a croissant and some coffee, possibly a baguette too. Maybe get a book out of Bibliothèque and read it. Back home with Spatuzzi here. Nice job there by Spatuzzi. And away goes through. Back further, so that's Florian still into pits. Oh, Morris Bhutan racing very hard with Fantozzi. Morris gets the job done. Next is Chris Vining going for a move here on Chicharov. And Vining is after getting through there quite nicely. Chicharov gives the room, doesn't fight it. Obviously carrying a bit of frontal damage there as well. Not going to be overfighting it. And also the fact that they're in different splits as well, I think makes a nice difference there with that. As Vincenzo. Oh, that would have been a very late move. Looking at this as it continues. Let's have a look inside the car. So close. Bit of a gap there. And yeah, so Ryan O'Sullivan doing a great job. Sorry guys, I have family in the house and there's noises everywhere, so I'm being distracted. So Tuesday here doing still a stellar job, to be fair about it, but Ryan O'Sullivan though isn't cracking at all. Looking at that though, Ryan O'Sullivan's dropped 2.6 seconds off Giuseppe Castellano there with that as well. Kripsezi though is starting to put the pressure on Liam Smit. Kripsezi is flying out there. Now Liam should probably let him by because they're in different splits. It makes zero difference. I'm sure Liam probably won't overfight that one because they are different splits. Liam doing a phenomenal job in terms of his split. Yeah, guys, I probably will stop doing comments for this one just because it's my brother staying with me with his daughter. She's only like 8 months old and I can hear her crying. I don't kind of wake her up with me talking too loud, so I'll stay in the background running the software. But in terms of the stream, just tonight, it's not making sense, you know, with my niece here. So I will come back next week, man, and see you Friday.